All right, guys, welcome to this 2-star Diamond Mastermind call. Super, super excited for today's call. First thing, just want to jump things off with saying, hey guys, Fall Classic is here. We have less than 60 days until the end of the year, so please, please, please make sure that you're driving that with your businesses and with your coaches so they finish the year strong and they start 2016 amazingly. But with that being said, let's just go right into our call topic since we are a little past schedule right now. So super excited for this topic. Jaelyn is actually from Utah. Love that, Utah in the house. So she is, yeah, there's quite a few of you on here. I love it. But she has been married to her husband now for over 9 years. They have 4 children together, ages 8 down to all the way to 1. Which is super, super cool. So she's a stay-at-home mommy to those 4. She's been a coach only since January. Okay, so yes, January 2015. She is ranked number 595 in the network. She's trying to hit well over 120,000 in volume in her first year, which is absolutely incredible. But most importantly is she has led with helping her coaches get Success Club and really, helping 3 people get their products paid for. And so that is what her topic is all about today. So I'm going to go ahead and allow you to tell us a little bit more about you, and you can just jump right into your topic.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
So I'll just kind of give my background really quick. So I started in January. I was like at a really dark place in my life. I didn't love where I was, and we were struggling financially, like really, really bad. And so I jumped right into being a coach and doing my first challenge at the same time. And I did 21 Day Fix, and that is just my jam. That's like all I ever sell. Since I think most people need help with their diet before they start working out. So I jumped right in and fell in love with like how I felt. I was feeling better about myself. I had a goal of making $500 a month because I had quit my daycare job of watching my niece, and that's what we made. And I needed that to even survive, and yet we still weren't surviving. So I made that a goal, and it's happened every single month. And I've just been really blessed by this business, and I really, really believe in how it changes people for the better. So I have kind of focused on my journey and sharing that, and I really believe that what you put out there is what you attract. So I tend to find a lot of coaches who are in the same position as I was, whether it's just physically or financially or whatever it was. It seems like whatever you struggle with and whatever you're open about are the people you'll attract. And so I really, like I said, believe in this business, and a lot of my people believe in the business too. And so I start off with my new coaches. I do a new coach call like immediately with them as soon as they decide to work the business. So I have quite a few discount coaches who become builder coaches after they realize how successful the programs are, and they have people coming to them, and they see the financial benefit of being a discount coach, and all of a sudden they're making money, so they figure they need to know more of the business side. So I'll do a new coach call like immediately as soon as I can, and I do it on Zoom, and I actually invite anybody in my downline to jump on. So I do this for my coaches as well. I just plan it around my schedule and my coaches though, and so anybody who can jump on can. And I think that is one of the biggest reasons that Success Club has been a huge part of our team culture is the new coach call. And when I do this new coach call, I have like a little welcome email, and I don't email it to them. I just read it to them on the new coach call, and I emphasize certain points. And so the biggest thing that I emphasize is like the business activity tracker. So we have our own that we call, the Power of Threes or Power Hour, whatever everybody calls it, something different. And I just break that down and get more specific rather than like, you need to do the Power of Threes, you need to invite to or add to your network, and you need to be building relationships. I like break it down and explain why each of these are so important, especially as a new coach. And so I really, really emphasize, I'm going to turn off my phone. I really, really emphasize Facebook and your statuses and your posts. Those I think are the biggest thing that you can do for your business is through your posts. And I've learned, because I absolutely despise personal invites, like that is something I hate. So I will do anything I can to avoid it. Like I seriously, it's like torture to me. And I don't even know why. It's really not a big deal. And a lot of people have no problem with it. I do. And I can't get over it. So what I have found that works for me is the more vulnerable and real I am about my life and my situation, not just the business, not just Beachbody, the less I have to do personal invites. People feel like they can relate. People feel like they can trust me. It makes it so that they see that I'm a real person. I'm not just some salesy, spammy Beachbody coach. They realize that this is part of my lifestyle and they understand why I've chosen this lifestyle. And so I really emphasize that with my new coaches. So a lot of people come in and they're like, but I'm not a good salesman. Like, we don't want you to be a salesman because you honestly will not be successful if you're a salesman. That does not work. People don't like that. And that's not what we do. We're about helping people and changing their lives for the better. And we're not about selling them a product. So I encourage my people to focus really on themselves and their journey. So Brandy mentioned this at the end of hers, and I like jumped on at the very end. So I don't know what else she said, but she nailed it. I think that you can't help other people until you help yourself. So you've got to be working on your own physical transformation, but in the process, you've got to be digging deeper than that. There's always a deeper why to everything we do. So I really emphasize them digging deep on their why before they even post that they're a Beachbody coach. So, and then I have them use that why outline kind of as a guide to why they, or what they should share when they do mention that they're a Beachbody coach. I do have all of mine announced on Facebook that they've become a Beachbody coach so that people don't think they're just a challenger and then go to Amazon or some other coach and buy. And so emphasizing their why. Like for me, like I said, I was not happy with where I was physically and I wasn't happy financially. But the reasons are deeper than that. It wasn't that I wanted to be a size 6 pant. It wasn't that I wanted to be like the skinniest person on the block. It was that I felt gross. I didn't feel comfortable in my skin. My knees hurt when I would go downstairs. It was my mental state more than even physical. I just didn't feel good. So my why wasn't vain. So there's always a deeper reason. Financially, like I said, it wasn't because I was like, I need money. We love money. It was that we literally were not paying our bills. And I needed to be able to have that stress relief because it was tearing our family apart in a way because we never had family time. My husband was working overtime any chance he had. And I was stressing out because I was the one paying the bills, yet we had no money. So our deeper why was we wanted more freedom for our family. So I really encourage my new coaches to dig deeper than the shallow reasons, but figure out their true why. And so they need to use that as their guide when they announce their Beachbody coach and then continue to share that. So like I said, I started with a challenge right when I signed up as a coach. I had never done a Beachbody program. Well, I did P90X and I hated it like 6 years ago. Not my thing. I'm not a worker outer. It was way too long. I danced my whole life, so that was not cool with me. But 21 Day Fix was perfect. 30 minutes. It had enough variety that I didn't get bored. And so I had never done a program before, so it's not like I could really have a testimony of Beachbody products before this. So I focused on sharing my journey. So I posted pictures weekly of my transformation, but I always link those transformation posts to some emotion or feeling because a lot of people, and I'm sure you've come across this, they get their panties in a knot when they hear that you're losing weight. They think it's all vanity. They think that you're trying to be skinny. And so it can upset some of your friends. And so I have found that when we explain our deeper why and we link it to an emotion, no one can rebut that. They can't say, you're not having headaches because you eat like crap, or you don't feel gross in your jeans. They can't say that because they don't know that. And so I always link it to an emotion. So that's another thing I emphasize with my coaches is when they're sharing transformation pictures, don't just be like, hey, I lost 5 pounds and 5 inches and it's awesome. Like, why is that 5 pounds and 5 inches awesome? So always link it to a why and an emotion, and it connects with people. So this whole business is a trust business and a planting seeds business. And when you're doing that, people trust you and they will come to you. So I really emphasize those things. And I think honestly, that's the main part of why my coaches are able to hit Success Club is they're real and they're, a huge part of it is transformation pictures. And I know a lot of people hate that and it's scary. So in our challenge groups, we encourage sharing the pictures, and we do prizes in our challenge groups based off of sharing your results. And you get more tickets to the drawing for a prize if you share your results in our challenge group. And you get more tickets if you share them on your personal wall. So it gets people comfortable in realizing that, we're all normal. So whatever your body type is, it's normal, and society has perverted that. So we want people to be comfortable and realize that it's okay, and the support they receive from sharing the results is insane, and it helps them become more confident in themselves. So that's a lot of the reason my discount coaches become coaches also, is getting past the shallowness that our culture has kind of created with our body image. And so we really emphasize sharing the results and being okay with our bodies. And we also do weekly focuses in our challenge groups that have to do with mental and spiritual or emotional transformations, because you can't be successful physically if you're not okay mentally. And so we do stuff that has to do with, like, weekly topics. My sister talked about eating disorders and emotional eating, or, unhealthy relationships with food. We talk about self-belief and vision boards. And so we take it further than physical transformation. And they just have to focus on themselves and sharing that journey. And they find that people are coming to them, like I said. So it really is all about just sharing. And when I do the new coach call, I also emphasize Success Club. I let them know immediately what that is, because they're going to hear all these words that they have no idea what it means. And Success Club and Emerald are the main things I tell them to focus on by the end of their first month. They need to be at Success Club 10, not just 5, and Emerald. And I explain that Success Club 10 and why it's awesome is because of those Shakeology leads. And to get them to Emerald, they're going to sign up a spouse. And that's scary for a lot of new coaches who are like, I don't even have money. I didn't have enough money to buy my challenge pack. My mom bought it for me. So I can relate to people not having money. And so when I explain, if you hit Success Club 10, you have at least 5 challenge pack sales commission. On top of that, the next month you're going to get Shakeology leads. So you're not even going to be out any money by signing up your spouse. And on top of that, you're now going to qualify for Team Cycle bonuses. So I explain all of that. And I also tell them by the end of your first month, if you've hit Success Club 5 or Success Club 10, you have 5 potential coaches for getting to Diamond. So they understand right away, like, it's not that hard to get to Emerald, because they should have at least 5 different options. And I really emphasize them getting to Success Club 10 by sharing their journey. Don't worry about the business. Don't worry about all of that stuff you don't even know. Share you, and Success Club 10 will happen. So, and honestly, it usually has for my coaches who really want to do this. And I just baby them their first month. It's kind of a lot of work their first month, but I would rather them have, a billion questions and have them answered than sit back in the shadows, because those who have a hard time getting off the ground at the beginning, they really struggle for a long time. So I encourage them to start sloppy. So I let them know you're not going to know everything right away. You're going to make mistakes, and you'll look back and be like, yikes, I probably shouldn't have done that. But that's okay. Do you know what? They started off and they were sharing, and that's all that matters. And those who start off strong usually stay strong momentum-wise. And we also have a 21-day new coach training. Micah is my upline coach, and she's Kelly's also. And she has a new coach training. And so we put them into that, and it's 21 days. She has a separate website for it, but I encourage my coaches to be done with that 21 days in 21 days or less. And if they are doing that, they're going to be successful, because she has mapped out exactly how to be successful and real and whatever you need to do in this business to be successful. So between the Power Hour, sharing their journey, and the new coach training, that's honestly how my coaches are hitting Success Club, and their coaches are having the same success as well, because it's just turned into a huge team culture thing, and it's kind of come to be expected, and they realize that their success in physical transformations and financial transformation happens faster when they're hitting Success Club 10. So I don't know if that helped.
That was awesome. No, that was great. I want to open it up. I know Ashley had a question. So you do a group GSR call, or do you do them individually?
I do them for whenever I sign up a new coach, and I just tell on my team page, I'm doing a new coach call today at this time, and they jump on if they can. I have one recorded. So I have a separate team page for my new coaches. So I put all of my new coaches into the separate team page as well, so that like, I didn't want to do a message thread with all new coaches because finding your phone with 50 messages is kind of annoying and overwhelming. So I put them in a new coach separate group so that if they have any question, and all of my coaches do the same. So if they have any questions while they're doing their 21-day new coach training, they post it in there and all the new coaches will see it because it's not a super active group and it's specifically for questions that they have. And so I have a new coach call that's recorded that's placed in that group. And I also have like a video on Success Club and Emerald again so that they can get that driven into their brain. And a video on like why you sign up a spouse and the benefit of doing that. Yeah, so stuff like that. So I have a separate group for that. And then, yeah, I invite anybody, and I do it around me and my coaches whenever we can do it. So people jump on when they can.
Awesome. Kelly, go.
When do they graduate from that group?
I don't really emphasize graduating as much because I thought, oh, we'll kick you out after the 21-day training. But then by then, they already have coaches signed up themselves. So everybody pretty much just stays in the new coach group, and it helps me answer questions too because all of us leaders and people who are signing up coaches and have experience are seeing these questions. So I don't have to sit and answer every single question that comes in. So they don't really graduate as much as like when they're done with their 21-day new coach training, they don't really have questions, you know? And so then now they're just answering the questions that are being asked.
So it's kind of just like you put all new coaches in there and they kind of stay in there and then eventually they engage in your other team group.
Well, they're in my other team page also, but that's where they would ask specific questions about being a new coach.
Okay.
So they hear all the other team stuff going on, but that is like if you have a new coach question, something to do with the business, post it in the new coach page.
Okay.
So
what do you call it? What do you call it? Just
Team Motivation Nation new coach page. Okay. Really fancy.
What other questions do you have?
I have a question. Okay, so you say that you struggle to personally invite, which I do as well. So when you get your coaches and you say Success Club 10 from the very get-go, are you having them just share their journey and they're getting 5 people to come to them? How are you telling them? Do you not tell them to personally invite? Like how do you do that?
No, so personally invite is part of our power of 3s. And so I just tell them exactly what I told you. Like I personally hate it. So I will do other invites. Like I said, through my posts, I consider that an invite. So if I'm doing one of those a day, that's considered one of my 3 invites. I will also post in groups that have non-fitness related. So like I'm a part of a group that has to do with my husband's line of work for the spouses. So I'll post in there. And I have found that is a great way to expand my network and also get people interested in challenge packs. So I'll do it in different groups. If they are not getting any reaction from their status updates, they're doing something wrong. Like, I don't mean that rude, but if they're not getting anybody interested, they're not being deep enough, they're not being vulnerable enough, they're not sharing enough. It's surfacey. People who are surfacey really struggle. I do tell them it's important because their business will not expand. And so the more you share, the less you have to do that. So it's up to them however they get them done. But if they're struggling, it's because they're not doing invites in some form, if that makes sense. I also do, I forgot what I was going to say, I have a prep week that I do for, we just switched to one ongoing group. We were doing tons of challenge groups and it was a joke kind of rolling people over. So we went to an ongoing group. But I decided to open up our prep week. I do a prep week always with my new challengers. I have now opened that up to anybody who is interested in what the program is without having to buy, because I think if people see what a challenge group is and the food we eat and Shakeology recipes, they're going to be more likely to buy. And so that has been a great way. We've done this for about a month now. And that's been a great way for our team also, is they can say, you know, I would love to have you guys join me on my journey as well. And if you'd like to see a sneak peek into what we eat and how challenge groups run, let me know and we'll add you. And by the end of the week, it's about 50% conversion rate, I've noticed, for however many people you put in. 50% are buying. And if nothing else, it's planting big time seeds. And then it's only a week long, and we kick them out afterwards, and they know that it's only a week long. We just tell them the group is closing, where it's never closing. We just kick them out. But that is another avenue for my new coaches, because it's hard for them to explain what everything is. And so if they just mention there's a free group they can join to see what a challenge group is, people are all over that.
Shannon had a question as far as that 21-day training, and is wondering, is it on lockdown, or is it something that Micah has put out there to kind of teach upon?
It's Micah's website, and you have to have a link given to you to access it.
So Shannon, I would say if you subscribe to my YouTube, Angie Beasley did one on our 3-Star Diamond call about a revolving training, and it includes exactly that, 21 days. So definitely point you in that direction.
How are you getting them to hit Success Club 10? Like, I can barely get them to hit 6. So 10 is like...
Yeah. Well, honestly, I don't know how... Besides what I've told you, I don't know what it is besides people really finally getting comfortable in their skin and sharing. Because I have several coaches who hit Success Club 20 last month, and it blows my mind because they're not doing anything... We don't do anything fancy besides sharing. So it really is those who accept sharing and believe in the business. Those who are hesitant at all and feel like they're being salesy, they suck at it because they don't believe in it. So a lot of it is belief in it and belief in themselves and having the transformation to where they feel confident, if that makes sense. So there's not some magic formula besides encouraging them to share. I do encourage them to follow top coaches so that they can see how they're posting, and tell them to mimic. They need to make it their own, obviously, but they'll find that people are being completely real besides Beachbody. They're not just a Beachbody coach. They're still who they were before. So they need to be sharing who they are all around as a person so that it gets more interest that way too, because then people realize we're real people. But I don't know, besides just the sharing and being real. Mm-hmm. And I think that's also why I stress Success Club 10 their first month, because once you get the taste of those Success Club 10 Shakeology leads, you don't want to give them up. So it's a matter of getting them there the first time, and then they, from then on, are not going to want to give it up.
I wonder what would happen if we just set the bar of okay, you need to help 5 people instead of 3.
I've never ever emphasized Success Club 5, because people, if they're shooting for 10, will at least get 5. But if they're shooting for 5, a lot of times they don't even hit it.
Right.
So yeah, for us, my team is Success Club 10.
That was actually something that changed a lot for my team. As soon as I just started setting the bar high in my Getting Started Right calls, I just started saying, you can hit Success Club. It's super easy. I mean, in the beginning, I used to kind of more emphasize, look, it is hard. It can be a struggle. But as soon as I started changing my language to, this is so doable. It's literally 3 customers a month and an entire month. As soon as I started setting that bar high, it was like people just started doing it. So I'd be very interested to try this as an experiment and say, you're going to do Success Club 10.
Yeah.
It's doable, which it is. So
It is. Well, we did a Power of Threes challenge the last week of September. And so I had any of my downline. So anybody who did the Power of Threes for a week, the last week of September, after that, I had them post a picture of their Power of Threes for that week. And anybody who filled it out completely, I did a drawing for a date night gift basket. And it set them up hugely for October. And it made them realize how important actually filling it out was. And so that also helped a ton too. You have to be filling out this chart, because you're going to miss a lot of follow-ups because you think you can remember, but you can't. And so I really emphasize they need to be filling that out. And if they're filling that out, they're going to hit Success Club 10, just because it's planting so many seeds. So I don't know, just constantly filling that out, and it gets them rolled over. And a lot of them have a lot of success the first week of the month, which helps them also be like, oh, I totally got this. So if they're hitting, selling a couple challenge packs within the first week, they're off to a great start. And filling out the Power of Threes is huge for that.
Did that spark any other questions?
I think Kristen's trying to talk. We can't hear her though.
Can't hear you, Kristen.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes? Okay. All right. So I just had a question on your challenge group. So you said you just kind of do like a revolving one because you have like challengers that roll over. So do you just keep that open and then you just do a prep week for all your new people? Like, do you do that like the first week of the month or something like that? Or
It's it never stops. The prep week never stops. So we have like posts that we do Monday through Saturday. And it's for, like I said, people who want to see what it is, and also for people who have purchased a challenge pack. They do this prep week. We kick them out of the prep week and put them in the ongoing group. And people start the new programs every Monday. So they get in the prep week, and on Monday they start their program. So every Monday we have new people starting.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll take one or two more questions. If any of you have anything.
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead, Tina.
Is your prep week a separate group? So you have a group for prep week and then you put them in a separate ongoing group. So that's just 1 week, then you're done, and then you move them into the permanent group, correct?
Yeah. Yes. So like in our prep week group, we don't do anything that is specific to any program besides like we have a huge photo album full of meal ideas. We don't tell them container counts. We don't tell them anything like that. We just show them the food that we eat. We do meal prep post. We do a Shakeology and why it's important, and Shakeology recipes. We have transformation pictures. I do random tips on how to be successful and blood sugar and female hormones and stuff like that. So they see the value of it. And then our coaches also post in there like they're checking in daily. So they see what a challenge group actually is. And then in our ongoing challenge group, we have more specific posts like 21-day containers and how to use them and stuff like that. So as soon as we roll them in, we tag them in those videos so that they watch those. But in our prep week, it's very general because I don't want people to feel like they don't need the programs because we have so much free information. Why would they purchase? And so we just give them enough to see what a challenge group is, what kind of food we eat, and that we actually eat real food. And that pretty much is what people want.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So are you starting, so with the prep week, it's not a frozen group, like you're doing new posts every...
It's the same posts, and I was deleting them, and then I'd buffer them, and they'd post again. But then we've had so many people adding midweek that I didn't want to kick those people out, and so their coaches are just responsible for kicking them out after they've been in for a week, and they tag them in a post every day. So they don't tag them all at once and overwhelm them. They're going in, and that's what we were doing anyway. So I'm like, why am I deleting and rebuffering if you have to go in and tag them on the post every day anyway? So they can just go in, and every day they tag them on a new post. So the posts are still there, and they can totally find them on their own, but that way it's tagging them. They see it for sure. There's like 7 prep week posts, and that's it.
So you're not adding the new prep week posts, you're just tagging the new person.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any last things that you want to add to kind of all the questions that were asked? Any more content? Anything? You covered it, so.
Well, I just think it comes down to, like I said, sharing, believing in the business and the product, and speed of the leader, speed of the pack. I really believe in that too. So if you're hesitant and you're slacking and you're not being consistent, your coaches won't either. So you have to really be consistent and sharing daily about your life and health, fitness, nutrition for your coaches to do the same. And being genuine is key, because you can say something, the exact same wording, and you can be hesitant, and you can be completely believing and genuine, and there's an energy attached to that, and people will pick up on that. So you've got to believe in it, and you've got to get your coaches to believe in that as well. And so I think Success Club is a huge part of that, because it gets them helping people and seeing their lives change is extremely gratifying. And so it gets them to want to keep doing that. So it's all about belief, being genuine, and sharing.
You're so awesome. Great call. You're welcome. Okay, coaches, is anybody else wants to add anything before we end this call today?
I'm just excited because I have a GSR call in 15 minutes, so I'm ready to experiment with this SE10 thing. I'm like, come on, let's do this.
Do it, girl. I love it.
Tell us how it goes.
Absolutely. So cool. Well, thank you so much for today for the call topic. You did amazing. Thank you, coaches, for jumping on as always. I hope you have an amazing Tuesday, okay? See you later.